urgent Vikings fan, look at what just happened. Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we bring you daily videos with the latest your team news, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. J.J. McCarthy pounding the table for Vikings to draft. Old teammate in a draft where many teams are trying to trade out of the first round, the Minnesota Vikings may feel beholden to stick and pick for J.J. McCarthy. Holders of the number 24 pick, the Vikings are positioned outside of the true blue-chip prospects of the draft, but could watch several players at the top of their position groups fall to them. Among those are former high school teammates of McCarthy's that would address an immediate need for the team, and McCarthy has pounded the table for him ahead of the draft. On Thursday afternoon, just hours before the first round of the 2025 NFL Draft, KSTP's Darren Wolfson reported that McCarthy has strongly advocated for the Vikings to sign his former high school teammate, Alabama guard Tyler Booker. J.J. McCarthy has been pounding the table for his high school teammate Tyler Booker. From IMG Academy, Wolfson said on an April 24th appearance on S-Core North, Booker, considered the number 1 guard of the draft class, has a polarizing profile after a poor performance at the Combine. However, the tape doesn't lie. Booker was a bully on the Crimson Tide offensive front. The 6'5", 330-pound lineman earned All-American honors as a junior and developed into a team leader, often praised for his competitiveness, high football IQ, and work ethic. In pass protection, you want your guards creating the depth of the pocket by answering and anchoring, which Booker does at a high level. In the run game, you want your guards driving and creating room with the intent of dominating their man, which Booker also does consistently, The Athletic's Dan Brugler wrote. The next step for him is to continue developing his savviness to counter-reach. High-end athleticism and blitzes that cross his face. Overall, Booker is built like a bull with the play strength and finishing mentality to match. His average foot quickness, however, might not be ideal for every scheme. He projects as an immediate starting guard with the tools and competitive character that are easy to bet on. Wolfson said he had concerns about Booker falling to number 24, however. There are other capable interior offensive linemen the Vikings could target with that pick or in a trade back. Among them, NDSU's Gray Zabel, who has become a favorite among fans and Vikings media members. Pausing this news just to say that if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest Vikes news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks. Now let's get back to the news. Stephon Gilmore just showed up at Cowboys HQ to launch rumors. Some are pleading on social media for Stephon Gilmore to return to the Dallas Cowboys for the 2025 season. Dallas Cowboys safety Juanye Thomas recently let his feelings be known he wants Stephon Gilmore to return to the Dallas Cowboys as a free agent. Thomas took to social media and posted a gif of Forrest Gump waving to the shore, as if he was waving to Gilmore to get his attention. And Cowboys Nation seems to love the idea too. It appears as though Thomas is looking for Gilmore to play for the Cowboys once again. Gilmore left the team after the 2023 season for a one-year, $7 million deal with the Vikings. And based on what we will frame as a fun rumor, maybe it's worth a conversation on Tuesday as a handful of media guys here inside the Star just witnessed Gilmore enter team headquarters, here for lunch, to say hi, to talk contract. That we did not know initially. Update. A signing is not imminent, but he came here on business of some sort, and the Cowboys are considering a future move, and team officials are reluctant to say much more beyond that. They are being careful to not insult Gilmore here too. Having said all of that, and two, the Cowboys are particularly thin at the cornerback position and short on experience. Gilmore, 34, wanted to return to the Cowboys last season, but did not receive an offer to come back. After the 2023 season, Gilmore described his passionate desire to remain a Cowboy. "For sure I want to be back," Gilmore said. "I for sure think we have the pieces to get to where we want to be, and I want to be a part of that. March is when free agency starts, so hopefully we can get something done. I want to run it back with B. Cooks and all of these guys, have the opportunity to play with Bland another year and Trevin coming back off the ACL." Cowboys fans responded to the post and were anxious to get Gilmore back in the fold. Should have. "Never let Gilly rock out the door," one fan said. Another fan said, "Time for him to come back home to Dallas." The 13-year veteran has played for various teams and spent 1 year with the Cowboys. And as you read this, has spending a moment inside the Cowboys facility. Minnesota Vikings draft. When will the Vikings be on the clock? We'll see if we can help you a bit. There are a lot of us draft junkies who will be glued to this weekend's NFL draft from the time.
It's announced the Tennessee Titans are on the clock on Thursday night until Mr. Irrelevant is announced on Saturday afternoon. However, if you're one of the folks who only care about seeing the Minnesota Vikings make their first selection, we'll see what we can do to help you. Thursday night's first round is set to start broadcasting on ABC, ESPN, and the NFL Network at 7:00 p.m. Central Time. In the first round, each team has a maximum of 10 minutes to make their selection, and if a team is making a trade, the clock does not reset. If the broadcast starts at 7:00 p.m., you can figure in a few minutes for introductions and things of that nature. As well as the ceremonial booing of Roger Goodell, that means Tennessee will likely get on the clock at around 7:10 p.m. Central Time. The Vikings pick at 24 overall, so if each team takes the maximum of 10 minutes to make their picks, something that rarely ever happens, it would take about 4 hours to get to Minnesota's pick, putting them on the clock at around 11:00 p.m. Central. However, I'd be surprised if it took that long to get to the 24th pick. Last year, according to USA Today, the 24th pick came up for selection at around 9:55 p.m. Central Time. The times on the USA Today article are in Eastern Time. We'll have to see how this year's draft flows before we know anything too definitive. However, just to be safe, if I were going to tune into the first round of the 2025 NFL Draft just for the Vikings selection, I would probably start watching right around 9:00 p.m. Central, and definitely no later than 9:30 p.m. Central on Thursday night. He would think this would be the sort of thing that our friends at FanDuel would allow you to put a wager down on, but it's probably too easily manipulated for that to be a realistic thing. However, that's my best guess at when the Vikings will be picking on Thursday night. For those of you who have to work on Friday morning,
hopefully you'll have enough time to recover. Vikings predicted to select all-sec edge rusher for Brian Flores. With the final mock drafts coming in hours before the 2025 NFL Draft, there are still questions regarding what the Minnesota Vikings will do with the 24th overall pick. The Vikings entered the draft with just 4 picks and need to make some moves to add more draft picks. They surrendered most of their picks this year as part of deals to land quarterback J.J. McCarthy and Dallas Turner in the first round of last year's draft. Most mock drafts have the Vikings looking at defense with their first-round pick or trading down for more selections. The secondary has seen the most attention, with safety being a position of interest. There is a significant sports website that can see the Vikings going in a different direction on defense in round 1. Pro Football Talks. Mike Florio released the website's only mock draft on Wednesday with no trades. The site has the Vikings taking Texas A&M edge rusher Nick Scorton in the first round. Scorton posted 10 sacks with Purdue in 2023 and was a second-team All-Big Ten selection before transferring to Texas A&M. As an Aggie last year, he was named as a first-team All-Sec selection after racking up 14 tackles for loss and 5 sacks in 12 starts. During the NFL Combine, Scorton did well in some of the drills, showing off his quick feet and change in direction. NFL Next Gen Stats gave him the 9th best total score of any defensive end edge rusher at the Combine, with a 77. Turner was selected last year to be that outside linebacker edge rusher the Vikings can develop, but didn't get as much playing time, with Jonathan Greenard and Andrew Van Ginkel getting the reps and performing well, with over 11 sacks by each player. With 22.5 combined sacks between Greenard and Ginkel, the rest of the team got 24.5 sacks. Between them, 10 players, another edge rusher to develop would be a move that would benefit the Vikings for the long haul and give defensive coordinator Brian Flores another athletic defender to use. There might be other, more pressing needs that would help Minnesota now over getting another edge rusher. The secondary took a hit when Cam Bynum and Stephon Gilmore departed. Harrison Smith and Byron Murphy Jr. did resign with the team, but Smith is at the end of his career, and the Vikings need to find his successor. If the opportunity presents itself, Minnesota might consider examining the secondary. If not, Acquiring more draft picks is the most critical objective for the Vikings on night 1. And now, Vikings fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know this, but your opinion matters a lot for Vikes. He'll be back any moment with more Vikings news. Skol, Vikings!